Hello again everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I've decided to show you all my houseplants, where I put them around the house and how I take care of them. So let's go! So first we will start here in the living room. That's where I usually do my videos. I just sit on the floor. Okay, so let's start here. This one is my Monstera deliciosa, but this is just the cutting from my bigger plant, which I will show you later. I have repotted this plant twice this spring because the roots keep coming out of the pot, so it's a very fast grower. I just feed it with plant food once a month. It grows very, very well. Look, there's a new leaf trying to unfurl, so very excited about that. I also love this pot. Recently repotted it in. It's a terracotta pot, but it has this very beautiful pattern for design. I got that from TK Maxx. And then over here I have two of my tiny plants. This is a succulent. I forgot what it's called. I think it's an Echeveria, I'm not sure. But these two are one of my first plants, and I'm sorry to admit, but I'm not really fond of succulents. So I just kind of neglect this sometimes. But, well, it's still alive, so it's happy to be neglected. I think I just water it like 1 tablespoon maybe once a month. This one I also neglect, but it's also pretty happy. Look, there are 2 blooms sprouting out of it, and I haven't even repotted this or anything. I also water it like a tablespoon every month, but it's happy. And over here is my orange plant. I have this plant a little more than a year, and it hasn't really given me any fruit or anything, but it's sprouted new leaves this spring, so I'm happy about that. But I am trying to make it grow that way instead of like that way, because I've read somewhere it needs to have a strong stem for it to hold the fruits. So I did prune it, cut it there and cut it there, but it just grew again. So I'm just gonna leave it, I think, as long as it's happy. I don't know, maybe next year it will give me fruits. Then over here by the television is my little, is this a jade plant? I'm not really sure, because it's another succulent, and like what I've always been saying, I've been neglecting it. But it's grown taller and it's got new leaves as well. Look at the tiny leaf over there, just growing. I think succulents are really good for that. So if you don't have time to water your plants, I would suggest you get succulents, because they will survive. On the other side of the television is the rubber plant. This one I water maybe every 2 weeks because it doesn't really get dry that fast, I mean the soil. And when I bought it, it already has this leaf bud, but since then it hasn't really grown, so I might be doing something wrong, or I need to do something more with it for it to grow, or maybe this is just a slow growing plant. I love this planter that we also got from TK Maxx. Actually, most of my pots are from TK Maxx. This has a really good like native vibe to it, which I like. And that one's an empty pot from TK Maxx, and this is a happy thing because that means I have space for another plant. And here is another citrus plant. Now this is a lemon Meyer plant. This one is also alive, but not having any fruits. This is smaller than my orange plant. I also pruned it, and that one didn't grow, so don't know. And I pruned it here, and it grew the way I wanted it to grow, but this stem is very weak, so I had to support it with a stick. But it's doing pretty okay. It did have some infestation of, I don't know what it was, might be a spider mite or fungus, but there were like yellow spots on the leaves before, back in winter. What I did is just cut all the leaves and then I wiped the leaves with some type of oil. I didn't have any, I don't know what kind of oil you're supposed to put, but the oil I had at that time is only castor oil, so that's what I put, and they didn't come back. And then in the dining area, I have this bench. This is my pothos Enjoy, and I would say it has grown since I've bought it. See, this part's gotten longer. New leaves right there. But I wanted the other side to grow like that as well, so that's why I rotated it. So this side is facing the sun. And then here is my satin pothos, my Scindapsus pictus. It's in this very nice pot holder from TK Maxx, you guessed it right. And this plant, I accidentally knocked it over and lost a leaf. As you can, and I just put it back in the soil. But look. So I just wanted to see how it would go if I put it back in the soil. So it's just there. That's been like a week ago. It's still alive. It's not yellowing or anything, so I'll just keep it there. But there's a new leaf coming, and this one's a really pretty plant. I don't water this as much as well because the soil doesn't get as dry. And this has grown, oops, they're hugging each other. This one has grown to, look at that. This is a box from Amazon. I might be doing a video of this one. And here is my Monstera Spa Roo, which I've shown you on my repotting episode. And look, it's trailed down right over there. Here, there's new leaf coming. But my concern about this plant is it doesn't have leaves on this area. But the leaves look very nice and healthy. I keep it on this tray with pebbles on it. And I just fill this with water from time to time, halfway, so it's not sitting on the water, so it wouldn't get root rot, but it's just enough for the water to evaporate and then give this plant a little more humidity, because I heard it loves humidity and it's doing pretty great. Let's move over to that windowsill. That's a picture frame of me. Hello. And then this is my watermelon peperomia. This plant, when I moved here, it was about to die. I repotted it immediately and then put it on this tray. I don't think watermelon peperomias are really finicky about humidity, but I just put it on that tray because I wanted to do everything for it to survive. So it's now alive. It bounced back, so that's pretty good. Although the leaves are not as big I want it to be, but I guess it's just starting all over again, so I'll give it a chance. There are some baby leaves though. See, that one's a baby leaf. There's one over there. It's pretty nice, and the leaf, pretty leaf, like a watermelon. Cute. And this one I only water maybe once a week or every 7 to 10 days. And then here on its prime spot is my Calathea rattlesnake, or Calathea lancifolia. It does have like yellow spots on it, but it was already there when I bought it from the plant shop. So what I do to monitor if this plant is happy, because I'm not sure if all these other brown spots or yellow spots were already there when I bought it. I just chose this leaf, really. And then this is what I monitor instead of like monitoring all the other leaves, and this is what I base its happiness on. As you can see, it's quite dry on the tips, so maybe I just need to provide it with more humidity. But they do say that amongst all the calatheas, this is the one that is less finicky about humidity, but it still wants a lot of humidity. But compared to the others, this one needs less. So I keep it on that tray of pebbles, and then I spray it every morning, mist it every morning with filtered water, because calatheas doesn't like regular water from the tap. They don't like the minerals that's in our faucets. We're now here in a different room, but I'm not gonna show you because it's full of moving boxes. And this is now my Khaleesi Messiah, which I've unboxed. This plant hasn't really done anything as well. I got it in the mail. It had 3 leaves, and it still has 3 leaves now. There's no sign of any new growth that I can see. So, I don't know. I'm just happy that it's alive. And the same thing I do. That's what I've shown before, to provide humidity. Look, it's very pretty. The second plant in this room is my Alethea ornata. This plant, I don't think it's doing very well. The leaves at first were like dark green with this very beautiful light pink strokes. But then this year, I noticed that it's getting a bit of a faded green or an ombre kind of look. I think it happened... It started to happen during winter. It used to have a lot of leaves like this, like there's so many yellowy or brownish spots on the sides, and then the edges are quite crispy, and then it was also curling. And so I pruned those leaves out. I do think the new growth is healthy so far, so we'll see how it goes. We are now in the other room to check my Instagram story to remember the name of this plant. This is the Hoya Garneau Tricolor. I think it's called a Crimson Princess, I think, or a Crimson Queen. I'm not sure. But I've also repotted this. I've repotted a lot of plants this spring, and it's very happy. Look at the leaves. The leaves are like this thick succulent type, so it is very pretty and very nice. And look, it's already trailing down this dresser or cabinet of mine. So I think this is a west facing window. When the sun is very bright, when it's scorching, which is less likely here in the UK, but when it does happen, I put that roller blinds down and it just filters the sun. This one is my Begonia Matata. I think it's that means sun changing. In my previous video, I didn't know the type of begonia this was, so I finally found out. I discovered that this plant doesn't like to be sprayed or misted. So when I first got it, I did mist this leaf, and look at it now. It looks gnarly and dry and crisp on some spots. But this is also a humidity lover. I would admit I'm having trouble with this plant actually. So I repotted it, and then all the other leaves are fine. See? They don't have much of that dry crisp parts. So maybe it was the misting. This area though is bald. That's why I rotated it like that, so it grows on that side. And then over here, this is my string of hearts, specifically the Silver Glory kind. This has grown a lot since I got it. When I first had it, it was only here, and that was only 2 months ago. And now it has grown up to here. Although I do need to repot this, and I need to figure out how to like propagate it. I want to cut it there and then propagate this one, so that when I repot it, because look, I'll show you. It's bald on this side. So when I repot it, I want to put those propagated stems on this side so it will be full on the top. But it looks pretty nice in this area. And then here on the hallway, that's the toilet. We don't have windows there, so I never put plants there, which is very unfortunate. This one is the Momma Monstera that I got that cutting from. I showed you earlier. This was in the living room, but it got so big. I also repotted this twice this month. So Monstera deliciosas, I think, are easy to take care of, and they're also very pretty. Plus, it's very exciting to see when they're pregnant and they're shooting out their baby. Look at that. That's a new one. It's gonna shoot out, which is very, very exciting. And then there's another one here, if you can see there. And then this one, this stem, is also forming a new leaf. So it grows very fast. It's now in a very big pot. I got it last year, October, and it was only small like that. And look, in less than a year, it has grown a lot, especially during this spring. I also feed this plant with baby bio plant food once a month. The last time I watered it, I didn't feed it anymore because I didn't want to repot it again. I'm running out of pots and I just want it to stay in this very lovely woven seagrass type of basket that it's in. Also from TK Maxx. It needs wiping the leaves. So I hope it's happy here that I just moved it to. I think it is because of all the new leaf growth, and that's how it looks like. Very, very pretty plant. And then over here by the windowsill, or by the entrance, is my Tradescantia Tricolor. Hello, baby. This plant is also growing a lot, and I've also repotted it. I just realized I've repotted most of my plants this spring. That's just because they've been growing really, really good. I've put it like that because I wanted to trail upwards. I don't know if it would, but I hope it will. This one, I water it like maybe twice a week. It doesn't need a lot of care, actually. The last time I did a video, this had brown leaves like all over because I got it from Tesco and it was the only one left of its kind in Tesco. So now it's not really showing any brown leaves. So that's very, very good and very interesting. I'm doing something right. Yay. So that's everything for now. I do plan to add to my houseplant collection, but I also kind of want to focus on the plants that I have now. So I'm kind of undecided. Anyway, thank you so much for being here again today with me in this video, and I do hope to see you here next time. Bye!